Hey y'all, it's me Cody. Welcome to the CodiKnits podcast. This is episode 81. I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. I hope you are doing well. Diamond is here too. You might not be able to see her because I'm sitting on the floor, so I'll bring her up to say hello. Because I know she's the real reason you guys want to see her. Oh, I love this little doggy. Anyway, today is Super Bowl Sunday, and I am wearing a Georgia Bulldogs shirt, which I know is not the NFL, but I don't really care about the people who are playing in the Super Bowl. But I'm wearing my Georgia Bulldogs jersey just for fun. Anyway, yeah, it's been a little while since I've spoken to you guys. I've had a lot going on. This January was busy. I will kind of give you guys an update on that toward the end of this. I have quite a few things to show you and talk to you about. So if you're new, thank you for coming by, and hi. Thank you for coming by and spending some time with me. I hope you enjoy. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me. It's really cool to have you guys come back. I really also wanted to say thank you all who commented on my last video with the well wishes with my surgery and everything. It means so much. What is it? And I really do appreciate it. I didn't respond, but I did read them all. So thank you so very much. It means a lot. Let's see. You can find me, I was looking at my show notes, on YouTube, CodiKnits Podcast, on Ravelry as CodiKnits, and on Instagram as nurse_Cody. Cody is spelled C-O-D-I, by the way. And, yeah, that's pretty much where all you can find me. I wanted to I don't have anything finished, but I did work a lot on my Scrappy blanket, my Scrappy sock yarn blanket, while I was recovering. And it was just so nice. I've been working on this blanket for 3 years, at least, and it really means a lot to me because pretty much every little square that's in this blanket has come from one of you guys, and it really means a lot to me, and it just reminds me that people care and stuff. But I wanted to show you what I've done. So I did these two, and these two. I have a lot of ends to weave in because I did not do any of that. These two. My mom helped me wind some of these mini skeins into balls while she was here. My mom came and stayed with me, take care of me, and so that was fun. And it's funny because she wrapped the balls so tight, they're really hard. I was like, you don't have to wrap them so tight. But anyway, I have now, let me do some counting. When I finish this last row I'm on, I will have 16 rows this way wide. So it's basically my wingspan, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 rows tall. And so it really is getting to where I believe it's almost getting to where I think I'm gonna be done with it. But sometimes I want to be done with it, and other times I think I want to add a little bit, make it a little bit wider, because while it fits over me, I think it needs to be a little bit wider. I think I need to add maybe 3 or 4 more rows in width, because it does cover me, but I would like to be able to like tuck it in. And while this is garter and stretchy, it could, but I think it'll be more comfortable that way. Then I gotta figure out a border to put on it. I do want to put a border, but I don't know what kind. But I absolutely love this. I've been knitting it for a long time, and it's one of those projects where I knit for a while and I'll get in like knit a bunch of squares on it, and then I put it away. But here lately, I've really enjoyed knitting on it. I didn't want to have to think. I don't have to look at a pattern. I can just pick it up and knit. And when you're recovering from a surgery, that's pretty much what you want. So yeah, I've really been enjoying knitting on this. I really love it. I've also made a little bit of progress on my dotted race shawl, and I'm keeping that in my Fringe supply bag. When I first got it, I didn't really like this bag, but now I really like it. Yeah, I really am liking it a lot more. So, let me show you the picture. This is Dotted Race by Stephen West. This is what it looks like. This calls for you to use I think the large version used a fingering weight. I'm using this as more of a worsted weight, so let me see, I think I went up. Yeah, I'm using a 5mm needle instead of a, what it called for? Oh no, I did it right. So for the small version and the, it says, I think a 4mm for the fingering weight and a 5mm for the worsted weight. So I guess I did it right. I didn't mean to do it right. I just did. And let me show you where I'm at. So I did do a lot on this last night. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post a picture. And I got to the end of a certain section and there wasn't a right number of stitches. And then I was looking at it and I was like, ugh. So I had to rip it back because like I was supposed to, when I got this first started, was like knit till 12 stitches from the end, and I for some reason only did 11, so everything was off. And I don't know if you can really tell, but the dotted rays were off, especially on this section, and so I just ripped it all out. So that's why this one looks like that, because it's like, it's short rows, very clever short rows, so you're not picking up wraps and turns and anything like that, so don't let that scare you away. This is a really easy pattern, and it has man, I just forgot what the name of that is called. Not garter, it's a, you're always screaming it at me. What is it called? I-cord. That's it. It has an I-cord edging built into the pattern. My skin looks really good in this light. I don't know why, but anyway, I just noticed it. I wish it looked like that in real life. Anyway, I've really enjoyed knitting this. I'm using my Leica needles, and I really like the needles. If I was doing, I would not pick these needles for lace or anything that I'm having to do a whole lot of increases and stuff like that, because I mean, they're pretty sharp, but they're not quite as sharp as I like them. The shaft of the needle here, it's really slick. So it's not overly grippy, and I was afraid that the join here on the cord would be a little catchy, but it hasn't been so far. But I will say that the cord I'm not a fan of, really, because as you can already, it just curls up and gets twisted, and that gets on my nerves really bad. It's not the end of the world, and I am enjoying using them, but see how, I mean, it's curled up, and so it makes it annoying to knit with a little bit. But I do like the needles. I don't regret buying them, and they're not extra cheap needles, but they're not, the most expensive set of needles either. So I'm happy with them. And they do have great customer service. I showed you how one was broken, and I sent them an email, and they just sent me a thing saying, hey, fill out this form and send us the needle that is broken, and we will send you a new one. So, and this yarn was gifted to me by Kirby for either my birthday or for Christmas a couple years ago, and it's been sitting in my stash looking beautiful. Look how pretty the color is. Oh, I love it. And I just couldn't think of what I wanted to knit with it. And then I saw the dotted rays, and I saw this, and I was like, yes, because I have 2 skeins of it. And it is Madeline Tosh. It's in their Pashmina base. And so it is, I believe, 75 merino wool, 15 silk, 10% cashmere. Ooh, and it's gorgeous. And the color is kelp. So I have two of those. So I'm just going to keep knitting this, and basically until I run out, because it's pretty, pretty easy to adjust, I think. I don't want to give the pattern away, but it's pretty easy to adjust based on the amount of yarn you have. But you can see I had to frog and stuff, but I didn't mind. I'd rather it do that and it be right than, it would annoy me later. So I went ahead and just did it. And then this morning so what I did, because I'm one of those people who, like, I frogged it and it annoyed me that I messed up by one stitch. Stupid. And it's not one where you can just like make one somewhere, or and you never know it kind of thing. It's one where the dots weren't lining up properly, so it wouldn't look right. So I was annoyed with myself because I spent a good couple hours knitting and then had to rip it all out. So what I did was I ripped it out and wound it up, and then this morning when I had my coffee and was thinking about the podcast for today, I just started back, and all my stitches were all wonky. So I didn't worry about that last night. I just got them all back on the needles. It didn't matter if they were on correct or not. And then I just redid it this morning when I had a fresh mind and I wasn't annoyed at it. So yeah, that's that. I spent a lot more time talking about that than I thought I was. And then I have done a little more. This was a cute bag that was gifted to me I really like. on these socks. And these are the Knit Picks Felici Lost Lakes colorway. They're the greens and blues. I love these. They're really soft. These are going to be for me. And I'm still on the first sock, but I'm going to make these long apparently. So I am just starting back on this section, and then before I get to the green here, I'm going to put in the heel. And I'm going to just pull from this ball and do the heels so the striping matches. But basically I want to do 2 color repeats and then do the foot. I did a 2x2 twisted rib. I used 64 stitches for my foot. And I am a little annoyed with this a little bit. Because you can see the bleeding, and I haven't washed these. It just came this way. And so it's bled not only there, but also into the green section. And I don't think that's supposed to be like that. So, and this is a common thing I've heard about Knit Picks Felici. And so I really like them. They're really soft and everything. They're 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, so they can be put in the wash and all that kind of stuff. They're very soft. They're not itchy or anything like that. But that color, that annoys me a little bit. But considering how inexpensive these tend to be, I guess you can't complain too much. But anyway, there's that. And if you don't have these little things, I don't know, I don't remember what they're called. But they are, I love them. Because they keep the needles from stabbing stuff, and I just really like them. Would highly recommend. And I'm using, the needles are Hi-Hi's, not sharps, just regular. And again, these are ones where I like them. I just, the point on the needle isn't long enough, as long as I like them to be, and they're not necessarily as sharp. I don't know where Diamond went. And it's quiet, so I'm a little worried. Diamond? Diamond? Oh, she's on the couch, under the blanket. Apparently she's cold. The weather here in Georgia has been weird. Like, beginning last week, they were talking about it was gonna snow. Well, in Atlanta, we didn't get any snow. I think in northern Georgia, where there's more mountain, they probably got some snow. We might have had a little bit of ice the next day, a little, but in some spots, but it wasn't anything. They like closed the schools and stuff just in case. And I was hoping they would close work to have an extra day to stay at home and knit, but it really doesn't. So it didn't rain as much as we thought that it was going to, and I was really concerned that it was going to rain. And it was like 40 something degrees that afternoon, but the temperature was supposed to drop down into the 20s that night, and so I was really more concerned that it was going to rain a lot and then all that freeze overnight, and then it would be dangerous to drive on the roads here in Georgia because we don't really do the salt trucks and all that. Anyway, I digress. I do have some happy mail I wanted to share with you. So you probably know, if you've watched, that I adore Miss Tilly Trout. And she used to do a pretty regular knitting podcast and show all her knitting and everything. And it was beautiful. And she was so lovely. And I miss her a lot. But she has been very busy doing other things, and I'm very happy for her and proud for her. And I saw where she had been doodling and stuff, and then now she has published her own little books, and I bought 2 of them. I was afraid she wasn't going to ship overseas, but she did. And so I bought Flora's Quest by Tilly Trout, and they're such cute little books, and they have the most adorable little sketches in them. These are all written and illustrated by Tilly Trout. And I have to say, I mean, they have a good meaning to them, but I have to say, this one is my favorite, Primrose and Albert. Because Albert learns how to knit in this book, and I don't want to tell you all of it, but it was knitting related, I would say that, and I love that. I love it. I love these. So these made me very happy. And I've been wanting to get something from this gentleman for a long time, and finally it just Instagram enabled me to do this. And this gentleman's name, or his shop name, is Whimsy Stitches, and I'm probably the last person in the knitting universe to finally have something from him. But he had these kits, and it was a bag and yarn. So I was like, that's perfect. I can get some yarn and a bag, and it's perfect, right? So let me show you what I got. I was super excited. So this is the bag. He has these really good, his are invisible all around, if that makes any sense. All the way, hello. Whimsy Stitches, that's his little logo. And he has these cute little tags, and just so cute. But look at these little winter hedgehogs. And he made dyed yarn to match. So here's a yarn. Look how cute, and it matches perfectly. So it's the white and the blue, and it's got the red from the little hedgehog thingy, little earmuffs. And he included a progress keeper, little hedgehog. Oh my God, so cute. And head contrast. It's not that bright red. It's a little not that bright. I don't know how else to. I think this isn't helping, but it's more. It's not necessarily burgundy, but it's more like a red apple, like not a candied apple, but like a red apple-y color, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway. So this is Whimsy Stitches again. And this is his standard sock base, 4-ply, fingering weight yarn, 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon, 100 grams or 437 yards. And the colorway is Winter Hedgies. And this is called Cherry Pop. I just love it. I'm going to cast these on. And I would really highly recommend his shop. He really, everything is packaged super well. I also had to buy this enamel pen because, hello, rainbow. So I love that. And I don't know if he sends this in everybody's, but I think he might. His real name is Rick, by the way. And, this is his little card, and it had a rainbow stitch marker in it, which I thought was lovely. So you had me at rainbow too. So I was super excited to get this. I just got this actually this week, so I love it. I can't wait to cast it on. I really like this. It's really good quality. The stitching is beautiful. A lot better than what I can do, that's for sure. And what a great, concept. You can see through the bag, see what's in, oh, excuse me, I had the hiccups. See what's in there, and it's a drawstring. And yeah, how perfect. I love it. And it has a handle with a little doobly-doo. Lot of detail in this, and I really appreciate that, and I love it. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. I believe that's all of the knitting. I have not worked on the kid silk mohair sweater for my godmother anymore. I'm kind of annoyed with it for multiple reasons, but I will get it back out eventually and work on it. But she's not going to get it for Christmas because it's already gone, but maybe this Christmas 2019 she may get it, or maybe sometime before. I wanted to show you this because this is so special. A lady that one of my patients from work sent me this for Christmas, and it's such a beautiful throw, and I love it. And she was afraid that I wouldn't like it because of the colors, and I'm like, no, I love it. I cried when I opened this, and this is something like, it means a lot. And I told her, she didn't realize that I was a knitter actually. And I told her, I'm like, well, I know exactly how much love and thought went into this with every single stitch, and I really, really love it and appreciate it. And I adore this. It makes me so happy. And that's why I love what I do. Part of the reason anyway. My patients are so special, and I love this. So I just wanted to share it. It's so beautiful. So it has these little sections with this yarn in it, with the blues and the pinks and the green, and then she bordered it with that yarn, and I just love it. I think it's perfect. What else? So I have finally finished reading. If you've watched for a while, I started this book. I had never read a book by Anne Rice before, and I finished The Witching Hour. I read every single word, and there are 2 more books, I believe, in this series, and I will be listening to those on audiobook. And it's not that I didn't enjoy reading it, but this is a really, not for kids. It's very detailed. If you've ever read Anne Rice, you know what I mean. She's very descriptive. And it's dense, it's very meaty, and I enjoy that. However, it just means that it takes me a long time to read it, and I just don't have as much time always to sit and read a book like this. And there's a lot of other books that I want to read. So I did get these on audio, so I want to start listening to the other 2, and I think that's going to be great, because I do want to know the story and finish reading it. And I would highly recommend reading. I only have sometimes in the evenings, 15 or 30 minutes to do some reading, and I can't always and I'm weird. I like to read a whole chapter. I don't like to stop in the middle of a chapter, and I can't really read a chapter of hers in that amount of time sometimes because they're so long. And so that kind of always deterred me from reading at night before bed sometimes. But I really did enjoy it, and I would recommend it. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I loved it, and I definitely want to read more stuff by her. I have a lot. You can see I have a lot of books. I like to read. But especially when I'm knitting, I will listen to audio books a lot. And so I feel like I would get through more if I did that. And the next book I'm going to read actually is this one, and it's big, but I'll get through this pretty quickly because it's like a young adult book. And so while there's lots of chapters, they're pretty, you know, it won't take me too long to read this. But it's called Queen of the Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. And this is kind of like one of the, she wrote the, is it Mortal Instruments? Or is it Immortal Instruments? Oh, it's right here. The Mortal Instruments. Yeah, The Mortal Instruments. I'll have to fix that because that'll fuck me. Whoa. Anyway, the Mortal Instruments series, and then there's like the Clockwork series. It's kind of like a prequel to that, and this is kind of like after. I don't really know how to describe it, but this is the first two. I've read those, and then I pre-ordered this book for me and my aunt. My Aunt Carol, she reads these books too, and so I got her this. I gave it to her for Christmas. She's finished it really quickly, and I wanted to finish. I have to finish my Anne Rice book before I read anything else. So I finished that actually just last night, and I had dreams about it all night. It was, if you know the ending, is so crazy. I dreamed weird stuff about it. But yeah, so I'm going to be starting to read this so I can talk about it with my aunt. And I really look forward to, these are great books. They're kind of like, they have a little bit of, you know, that fantasy element to them. So we'll see. I'm kind of, you know, I'll finish the series because I started them, but I'm kind of, I don't think she should come out with any more of, you know, Mortal Instrument themed books, because I think they're kind of, they end up starting to all kind of be very similar, I guess is how I would say it. But anyway, I really enjoy them. So, and it's been a year or more since the last book came out, so I've been looking forward to this one, so I got it. So I'm going to start reading that one. And I really want to read this, The Miniaturist. I have that one. So I got a couple of books I need to read, and I also want to read, I finished Aragon a while back, and I want to start reading the next one in that series too. And so I need to have a lot of reading I want to do. I also bought this bookmark. If you've watched for a while, you'll know I really love bookmarks. Look at the mermaid, it's beautiful. And one of my viewers, Kim, she sent me a lot of bookmarks, and I love them so much. And some of them, like this one, I have it still in this book. I like to keep the bookmark I used in the book. But look how nice this is. This beautiful little angel. But I'd never used a bookmark like this before, and I really like this kind of bookmark. So, and it's really pretty when it sits there. And then she sent me some handmade ones, which, I used this one that she made for me in my Anne Rice book. So it was nice. Every time I read my book, I thought of her and how sweet that they were to send me those. So thank you. Let's see, is there anything else? So a little bit of life updates. I did have my gallbladder removed. I told you I was going to do that, and I had it on a Wednesday, and I did pretty good. I found out that I had an extra artery that went past my gallbladder and out and then back into my liver, that the doctor The surgeon was very glad that he did not cut. I'm very glad that he did not cut that as well. He said he's only seen that in like 3. I was like the 3rd time he's ever seen that. So that's fun. But also, my gallbladder was basically completely encased by adhesions or scar tissue, and he thinks that I've been having issues with my stomach since nursing school even, and he thinks that I was probably, I've probably had infections even and issues with my gallbladder for so long that all this scar tissue, and he literally had to cut the scar tissue away to get to the gallbladder. And so it just makes sense why, it wasn't working properly anymore, and why I was hurting and being miserable, to put it lightly. So, all of that is taken care of now. He did it laparoscopically. I was sore, like I did like 5,000 sit-ups or something, but I was not in too bad of pain. I did have some, because they fill your abdomen with CO2 to like get things out of the way. I'm pointing to my tummy down here, but you can't see. And so you have a lot of air and gas, and some of that air went up right here and hung out, and that was actually the most painful part of the whole thing. Was the gas there, but I just kept trying to move around and stuff, and it went away. I got better within a couple of days, but I was really sore for a while, and I actually went back to work the following Monday. I was still sore, but I was eating and stuff fine. I probably should have stayed out another week. But because I don't do things where I lift a whole lot of heavy objects or something like that, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and go back, because I was going to have to do like short-term disability and all that. And it did me some good to get out and, move around. But the end of the days, I was, by the end of work day, I was really sore, even around to my back, and I was exhausted. It really wore me out. It took a lot out of me. But the next week, I was perfectly, like this past week, I've been doing really well, not having any issues. This may be TMI, but I have normal bowel movements now for the first time since I don't even know how long ago it's been, and it's just, I don't have pain. It's wonderful. I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad that, they figured it out, because they were starting to, you just need some antidepressants. Maybe it's that. And I didn't think it was. And, but that's really hard. You're like, no, I'm really hurting. And no one can really figure out why. And everything you've tried isn't helping. And, it gets disheartening after a while. So I'm glad to know why. And I can tell like my energy level is getting better every day. And when you're not hurting, you tend to have a little more energy. You sleep better, all that stuff. So I'm doing really good. And again, I really appreciate all the well wishes and everything that you guys sent me. It was very sweet. And I'm just looking around to see, is there anything else? I think that's it. I rambled on enough about all of this, and I will try, hopefully, to edit this and make it make sense to you all. And, I was going to say, there is a lot of people are now trying to be more supportive of, makers and like dyers and, people who, make project bags and things like that, who are people of color. And, I want to tell you, about someone who is actually local to me, and I've talked about her before, and I've knit some of her yarn, and her name is Jade from Sew Perfect Pearls, and she has a Sew Perfect Pearls podcast, and she does hand dye yarn, and I believe she has fiber as well. She's super sweet and very talented. She had those socks. I knit those self-strapping socks that were like the green and the like dark gray color that I love so much. So yeah, if that's that's someone I could tell you if you're looking to support, I would recommend them, because she is a person of color. And she also is from here in Atlanta. So that's extra points there. So supporting not only our local community, for me anyway, but also someone who is a person of color with an Etsy shop and beautiful hand dyer of yarn. And so she's someone you can go check out. I'll try to put a link in the description box for her her shop, but she is really great, and you will not regret the yarn, because I bought mine and it was in a gobstopper ball, so when I got it I could cast it on like right then, and it's beautiful. Anyway, I hope you are all doing well, and I hope you those of you who are up north where it's like negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm so sorry. But I hope you're staying warm. And I hope you're all doing well otherwise. Also, February is National Heart Month. I have to put this in here, as you know, I'm a nurse practitioner. And heart disease is actually the #1 killer of men and women. I know I'm always a, big advocate about cancer screenings and all that kind of stuff, but heart disease is actually the #1 killer in the United States of men and women, even over cancers. And it is a silent killer, they say, because a lot of times people don't realize that they are having high blood pressure and high cholesterol and have these risk factors for their heart health, because they don't feel it necessarily, or their signs are very vague, and so until something bad happens. So it's really important for you to go and have your annual checkups and see your primary care provider, and get those physicals done. And if you need the first thing that anyone can do if you are on that, high blood pressure, or borderline high blood pressure, and diabetes too, is always the whole lifestyle modifications. So things like exercising, getting that heart rate up for at least 20-30 minutes a day, or so, just to keep the heart healthy. Decrease your cholesterol levels as much as you can, and sodium tends to draw in water into your heart, and if your heart is into your bloodstream, and that makes your heart have to work harder to pump that through. So if you need to decrease some sodium intake, that can also help your blood pressure. There's lots of things you can do. You can go to the American Heart Association's website. I believe it's heart.org, and they have lots of information in language that's very easy to understand, and lots of tips and tricks and things that you can do and learn about, because the more you know, the better you can do, right? If you don't know, then you can't fix things. So I would encourage you to go there and check that out. It's free resources and stuff there. So, but the big thing, go see your primary care and make those follow-up visits, and do the best you can, because heart is important. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I need to do some laundry, and I need to spend some time in my bullet journal and all of that fun stuff. So I hope you're doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye.